I have two more, but I think I should only do one more.
And Guy, after you do that, will you also do the poem that's on the broadside?
Oh, I will definitely do the poem on the broadside. I wanted to explain that poem on the broadside because when I wrote it, it was obvious that it was about Hurricane Katrina and New Orleans floating away into the sunset. But now, these years hence, I read that poem and I thought, what the hell is he talking about? This essay is from the same cycle of short essays called To Tango. You must hold me closer, Graciela said, a bit cross and stronger. But I was already holding her so tight I could feel her quick heartbeats. We were 30 minutes into my first tango lesson. You hold me tighter, then we move as one body. Not you move first, then I move. But one thing is moving. It's life. Months earlier, Graciela taught me the foxtrot as I prepared to be the best man at a friend's wedding. She put me in her wedding class, 4 couples, and me. So she was my partner in all the lessons. She was strong and slender and so light on her feet, I had to look down occasionally to see if she was touching the floor at all. She would whisper her instructions to me in sort of a hiss. Don't look down, dance in your head. If your head is dancing, your feet will know what to do. Then she would bark instructions at the rest of the class over my shoulder. Heads up, maintain the dance space, smile. Remember, this is fun. You are having a good time. And to my great surprise, it was fun. I gave a decent account of myself at the wedding, by which I mean I did not injure the maître of honor in our requisite dance. We didn't trip or fall. The whole reception came off without any dance-related injuries, at least none attributable to me. I realized after the wedding I had had fun in the lessons getting ready for the big day, and I thought, dancing could be fun. Who knew? But the foxtrot is not the tango, and holding the stout matron of honor at arm's length while I pushed her around the church basement didn't prepare me for holding Graciela in the tango death grip. Her breasts were crushed against my ribs. I could see beads of perspiration on her upper lip, and along her hairline I could smell her perfume. But just under it was a faintly spicy smell of her sweating body. We were more than halfway through the first lesson, and we had to come back to the forward walk, the most basic move of the dance. I wasn't getting it at all, and she was frustrated with me. Soften your knees, Guy. Don't just step toward me. We are not stepping. We are sneaking. We are slinking. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Como un gato, like a cat. Sorry, I said. It's just, I can't remember the last time I was this close to a woman. And I was sweating myself. But I did remember. Saturday, August 26th, 2006, 9:30 a.m., my apartment, Salt Lake City. She's wearing a pale blue Oxford shirt, khaki walking shorts, sports sandals. Her toenails freshly painted, brilliant red. She smells of the fancy bath salts I gave her for Christmas. She has on shiny lip gloss that makes her taste like strawberries, only sweeter. She steps back out of my embrace, pushing on my sternum with both her hands. We have to go now, she said, or we'll be late for the picnic. 2 hours later, a tractor trailer with a load of Budweiser, westbound on US 30, near McCammon, Idaho, goes too fast in a turn, crosses the center line. We are in the eastbound lane on our way to the picnic at Lava Hot Springs. We collide head on. 6 days later, she dies. Injuries from the wreck. So I was lying. I remembered very well the last time I was that close to a woman. Graciela was looking up into my eyes, and something she saw there made her say, we need a break, yeah? Her right hand drops from my left hand, and I feel her shoulders relax. Yeah, I agree. That's an excellent idea. She waits for a few beats, and then she says gently, Guy, you have to let go of me now. Oh, right. Sorry. I splashed water on my face in the dance studio's men's room and looked into the mirror. I remembered how my aversion to dancing began at an after-school sock hop. There was such a thing as sock hops in the girls' gym at Laramie Junior High. I was dancing with a major crush. Her name was Gail Warren. I was jostled from behind. We cracked heads. I heard and felt her nose snap against my skull. She ran from the gym, bleeding freely. I remember vividly the bright red splashes on her white blouse as she fled. But this fear, this tango fear, this is not about adolescent embarrassment. I can somehow see this clearly now. I am not afraid of what I will feel when I'm very, very close to someone again. I'm afraid of what I will not feel. Back in the studio, Graciela started the music, stepped to the middle of the dance floor, and raised her arms toward me, assuming the dance position. She had gathered her long, jet black hair on top of her head in order to cool down a bit. So, she said, smiling, we begin again with forward walk. No. Lately, I noticed that sometimes I take the steps up to my office on the second floor in tango time. I soften my knees and glide. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. I sneak, I slide. I arrive at the second floor like a cat, como un gato. Like I say, I'm working on it. That's part of a longer cycle, but I have here tomorrow's New York Times. Okay, the story behind the poem that's on the broadside is I was reading Mark Strand and watching the news, and in the pictures from New Orleans in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, I saw a man standing in water, speaking into a microphone and looking into the camera, and coffins were floating behind him in the street because there was a funeral parlor on that street, and the flood had carried everything out. And like I say, all of the news was one horrifying and unbelievable detail after another about the destruction of the city and our failure to address it. And I was reading a poem that I swear to God Mark Strand wrote called Tomorrow's New York Times, and I can't find it anywhere. So the speaker in the poem is reading tomorrow's newspaper, okay? So the New York Times, that's an icon. It's called the paper of record, right? It's sort of the truth. That's the standard. But tomorrow's New York Times is impossible for us to read. So I was putting those things together and following Mark Strand in that direction. So that's why the poem takes the shape it does. I was just reading an article about a morgue stacked with corpses, about how it happened, about how we didn't respond or responded poorly. I was just reading how the floods came and receded, how caskets floated on the ebb tide and the rain kept coming down. In tomorrow's Times is a story about how the clouds were breaking up above us, but the rain continued, the same rain falling. It's in the paper about the city before the storm, a parade, a crowd of happy revelers dancing in the wide street. I start to suspect it isn't the truth. Another story says tomorrow had come and gone, and we had all missed it. Another says we can still do the crossword puzzle, can still figure it all out. Thank you.